Dr. Esi Quaidoo, and today I want to talk about something that I think most of us are quietly struggling with, even when life looks like it's going fine on the outside. You know that feeling where everything looks okay on paper? You're doing what you're supposed to do, you're showing up, you're responsible, but there's this subtle sense that something is off. You can't quite name it. You just know this can't be all there is. And you start wondering, is it burnout? Is it stress? Is it my job? Is it my relationship? What if it's not your circumstances? What if it's your alignment that's off? When I was younger, growing up in Ghana, Canada, and now the US, I was often described as aloof and distant. People thought I was unfriendly or even proud. But the truth was, I was just very introspective. I was always thinking, always observing, always trying to make sense of things, make sense of the world around me. But because I didn't necessarily express that outwardly in a way people expected, a story formed around me. And here's the sad thing. Eventually, I started believing that story too. I started wondering, maybe I am distant. Maybe there's something wrong with me. And without realizing it, I began adjusting my behavior to match a version of myself that wasn't even true. And this is what most of us do. We inherit stories, beliefs, interpretations from childhood, from culture, from trauma, from relationships. And we begin living inside those stories without ever questioning them. We react, we adapt, we cope. But we don't always realize that we are reacting from a place that may no longer be true. Over time, and through my work with patients, clients, and honestly, through my own life, I began to notice that transformation tends to happen in stages. And I now think of them as 3 steps to radiance. Step 1 is simply becoming aware. Not fixing, not judging, just noticing. Noticing the fear, the comparison, the self-doubt, the quiet voice that says, I'm not enough, I'm too much, I'm invisible, I'm behind. And what I've come to realize is that this is what I call the shadow. Not darkness, just light that hasn't been seen yet. I remember a patient once, beautiful smile, successful career, great rapport, who sat in my chair and said to me, Dr. Q, I don't understand why I still feel so insecure when everything in my life is going well. And I gently asked her, when did you first learn that you weren't enough? And she paused, and then she said, probably in 3rd grade. And there it was, a story formed decades ago, still running the show in adulthood. Step 2, alignment. Once you see the pattern, you now have a choice. Alignment is when you begin asking, what is actually true for me now? It's where forgiveness begins, boundaries form, courage grows. It's when your thoughts, your heart, and your actions begin to agree. You stop living by expectation and start living by intention. Step 3. Radiance. This flows naturally at this stage with minimal effort. It is the beautiful thing that happens when you stop fighting with yourself. Radiance is peace without performance, confidence without comparison, joy without justification. It naturally emerges when you are no longer at war within. You've heard me say this before. Love God, love yourself, love your neighbor. Each contains the other. When you begin loving yourself, you align. And when you align, you radiate. And that radiance becomes service. Radiance is not something you do, just something you are. It's what emerges when you pause, become aware, and align yourself. So I want to leave you with 3 gentle questions today. What emotional pattern shows up most often in my life? What strength might be hidden inside that pattern? And what would the most radiant version of me choose right now? Before we close today, I'd like to invite you into a brief meditation. Because sometimes understanding something in the mind is not enough. The body also needs to feel safe enough to let go. So if you're able, just find a comfortable position. You may gently close your eyes or soften your gaze. And take a slow, easy breath in. And exhale without effort. Again, breathing every doing gently. And breathing out slowly, allowing your shoulders to soften. Allowing your jaw to unclench. Allowing your body to know that for this moment, you are safe. Now, I'd like you to imagine that within you there is a rose, a tightly closed rosebud. And notice, it is closed because it has learned to protect itself from disappointment, from judgment, from misunderstanding, from pain. This rose represents every part of you that has learned to hold on, to stay guarded, to stay safe. And for a moment, just notice it, without trying to fix it, without trying to force it open, just witnessing with compassion. Now, imagine that a soft, warm light is gently surrounding this rose. It is a kind, welcoming, loving light. And as this light surrounds the rose, one petal very gently begins to soften. There is no rush, no pressure, just a natural, safe unfolding. As this first petal opens, you may feel a subtle release, a letting go of an old story, a belief that may no longer be true, like, I'm not enough, I'm too much, I'm behind, I'm invisible. Let that story simply fall away like a petal. Now another petal softens and opens, perhaps releasing a fear or a need to prove yourself, or the habit of comparing yourself to others. Allow it to gently unfold. And now, with each slow breath, more petals begin to open, because you finally feel safe enough to soften, safe enough to be seen, safe enough to be you. And as the rose continues to open, notice what begins to emerge from within. A sense of peace, a quiet strength, a warmth, a presence. This is your radiance. You did not create this. Your radiance has always been there, waiting to be revealed. And now, as your inner rose rests in this open state, take one more slow, gentle breath in and exhale. When you're ready, you may slowly return to the room. And remember, radiance is not something you strive for. It's what remains when you are no longer fighting yourself. What I've learned in my life and in observing the world around me is this: your life doesn't change when circumstances change. Your life changes when identity changes. And identity changes when awareness awakens. We'll be diving deeper into these 3 steps to radiance in upcoming workshops and retreats. But for now, just begin by noticing. If you found this episode useful, please like, comment, subscribe, or share it. Can you imagine a world where everyone lived consciously, aligned themselves, and radiated their truest essence? This is possible. They say a journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. I say this journey starts with you and me. Until next time, keep smiling and radiating, because the world needs your brilliance. See you soon. Shine through the night and brighten the day. Hold it close, let it guide you right, like a star in the darkest night. Love yourself and love your soul. Spread the joy and make it whole. Give your smile and watch it grow. Live your purpose, share your life. Dance with joy and take your flight. God is near.